Hi, my name is Vida, and we're going to be doing a get ready with me. I have an audition. Yay! So I'm really excited. This is going to be for a understudy role. I'm reading for two different characters, and it's a stage production. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. The play takes place in the 60s, so I'm going to be trying to do a modern slash 60s kind of makeup look. I don't want to like appear too in costume, you know what I mean? So we're just gonna be doing something soft with a little pop of color. I almost forgot my little headband. I've really been enjoying this room so far. My housemates are really sweet, really awesome. And yeah, I really do like this room. I feel like I've been able to like nest in here comfortably, and it just feels like a really good size for me. My last place that I lived was also very nice, and like pretty modern, whereas this is a little bit more of like a house homey vibe. Yeah, I love my room, and I think I really do. I talked about this in my last video, but I think I really do want to do a vanity tour at some point, just because it's become like my favorite part of the room so far. So happy Pride. I'm really blessed to be booked and busy. Blessed, booked, and busy, the three B's. I've come a really long way in my transition, and sometimes I feel like I discredit myself. I've had a problem for a while of just like comparing myself to other people and comparing my transition to other people's. And I don't do that as much anymore because, you know, everybody's experience is different, and including mine. And I think what makes trans people so beautiful is that we have these unique, different experiences and how we've transitioned, and things become even more beautiful once we like meet those people who have like similarities with us, you know, like in ways that we go about things in our transition. And yeah, I'm really grateful for the community that I've been able to build over here where I live now, in comparison to where I lived before growing up. I feel like community definitely means something different here. And yeah, without it, I don't think I would be thriving as much as I am now. June officially marks 6 years as me being Vida. Yeah, I could get into a little bit as to why I chose the name. I was really struggling pretty bad once I graduated high school. But, you know, a positive from graduating high school was I had a lot more freedom to try on different clothes and express my gender. And I really leaned into wearing more feminine clothing. And that kind of just like progressed until I started to really experience a lot of gender dysphoria. But thankfully, I was already pretty queer at the time, so I knew what was going on. I was able to identify the feelings that I was feeling and do something about it. So I went to my local LGBT center, and I would go to groups. And in these groups, we would just talk about our experiences. And had it not been for those groups that I went to, I probably wouldn't have come out as non-binary at that time. But I knew that there was just something more to it that I couldn't place yet, or that I wasn't ready to embrace just yet. I tried going by nicknames that were somewhat similar to my dead name, but I just like still didn't really feel super comfortable about it. I did not really like my dead name, and I did not feel as though like I really identified with it at all. It's kind of funny, but I feel it's kind of like rooted in some truth. I wouldn't say that I fully started to embrace my name as Vida, or like really discover my name as Vida, until I had taken my first shrooms trip. Things really kind of unlocked in my brain, and I saw things differently. And I actually had a desire to live after experiencing suicidality since I was really young. too young. And I went to a website with a bunch of baby names and just kept scrolling until I found the name Vita with a T, and then it clicked and I was like, my name is Vita with a D, actually. And yeah, I still kind of, I don't know, get kind of emotional thinking about it, because I chose the name Vita because, again, after experiencing suicidality for so long since childhood, I found this new way of living, and I knew it was meant for me. And I knew that stepping into this name and stepping into my identity as a trans woman was something that I wanted to live to see. I'm honestly trying to get to 100. I'm not going to lie. I want to live to be a queer elder. The average life expectancy for a trans woman is like 37 years old or some shit. Like, it's not super good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with my Makeup by Mario palette, and I'm gonna go ahead and do some like soft browns on the outside of my eye, and then we're gonna do a cut crease with a little bit of color. Something else I wanted to talk about in this video is the idea, the concept of cisgendered actors playing trans roles. Let's talk about it. I saw this post on TikTok that really pissed me off. And it was a montage of a bunch of cisgendered and heterosexual actors playing trans women. And there was kind of this question that was being asked about whether or not it was fair, or whether or not it should even be allowed for a cisgendered actor to play someone who is trans. And I was reading the comments, and I'm not gonna lie, some of y'all got fucking worms for brains. Like, honestly, trans people were in that comment section. Like, honestly, if they're respectful about it, like, I don't mind it. And of course, that is like their opinion, and that is like their comfortability with seeing like trans people represented on screen. But I'm not gonna lie, again, most of you were pretty fucking dumb in those comments, because I personally believe that cisgender people have no business playing transgender roles, because the experience of being a trans person is something that they will never understand. Honestly, it's also taking away jobs from people who are trans and also actors. Hello. Like, y'all understand that trans people are also actors too, right? Y'all understand we're out here and we're not getting booked for being trans, but then cisgendered people get to play trans people? Make it make sense, baby, because it don't. I really don't know why, but I can do like eyeshadow with like really vibrant colors, but for whatever reason, like blending and like working with brown eyeshadow is like really difficult for me. I've been watching a lot of Sex and the City. If you do not want spoilers, go ahead and skip ahead. But I had to stop watching it. Because once Miranda got pregnant, I don't know. I just couldn't be in it anymore. Like, Miranda was such a strong character for me. I really saw, bits of myself in her. However, like, once she got pregnant, I was just really confused. I was really confused because I couldn't really like understand or like see any type of like maternal like side of her, like I never really, it just threw me through a hoop that I really wasn't anticipating, and honestly I don't really think made a lot of sense for her character, and that's just me. But I do like the earlier seasons, and I have been watching the earlier seasons back. Don't even get me started on Carrie and Big though. Don't piss me off. Okay, I like the browns so far, but I think I just might add a tad more depth to it with a smaller brush. Okay, the ombre is kind of eating here. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of eating. So with this look, I kind of want to create a seafoam green. How I'm going to achieve that, I'm going to use, let's see, I'm gonna be using my Garden of Juvia's palette. I'm gonna be using a little bit of Lucky Clover here. And then I'm also going to be going in with my Twilight palette, I think. And I'm going to go in with this really light blue shade, Unconditionally. As you can see, I love this shade. I've been hitting pan on it. And I'm going to let this be my base. So then when I put the green on top, it has that bluish seafoamy hue that I want. Honestly, this is a tad more gray than I want, so I am going to be using a different ColourPop palette, the On Cloud Blue palette. I love this palette, and I'm going to just go in with the shade Ice BB. I don't really have the engagement yet, or I feel like the subscribers yet to really ask a question like this, but leave a comment below telling me what colors you've hit pan on the most, or what colors you enjoy doing eyeshadow with the most. To my knowledge, they weren't really doing like cunty black eyeliner and a cut crease in the 60s, but that's what I'm gonna be doing, so. Oh my goodness, I forgot to put on lashes. Okay, now I'm just finishing up. The lip is ColourPop in the shade Calypso. This is a lip satin. I like the feel of it. It's a little less like crusty and drying than a regular matte lipstick would be, but I really like it. And I want something to, you know, give mature, to give professional, you know. Well, this is the look. Yeah, I think this is like as 60s as it's gonna get. I'm gonna also use this Fix It kind of topping spray from One Size. This has been super viral, but I will say I've been using the Krylon Fix It spray, and that has been awesome. Arguably like a little bit better than the One Size setting spray. But of course, the Krylon one is sold out online, and the Krylon store that's in my vicinity is like nowhere really close. There's no way for me to really access it. So I just got this. I forgot to mention too that I'm teaching a pole class after this. So maybe I will give you an update on how my makeup has stayed within my commutes and, you know, dancing pole. We'll see. Hi, this is the day after I filmed that video. The audition went really well. I got asked, you know, if I had been doing it a long time, and I said yes, and the director slash creator was like, I can tell. And that meant a lot to me. He also asked if I had done more film acting as opposed to like theatrical acting. And I was like, no, actually it's the opposite. I've done more stage acting than I've done film work. And he was like also really surprised by that. I mentioned that I would also talk a little bit about the comparison between the One Size setting spray and the Krylon Fix It spray. I do not have an opinion yet. I think I will have an opinion. I have 2 gigs coming up in the next 2 days, today and the next day. And I'll really be able to kind of like test its wear. Yesterday alone, I noticed like it's kind of inevitable, but most of the time I have like creasing in my smile lines, but it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too pronounced. But yeah, go ahead and leave a comment of what colors you've been using most lately, and leave a like, subscribe, send this video to a friend who likes people who yap while they do their makeup. I don't know. Bye.